I am Theri Ray. I am the library director at the Enid Public Library, and joining me today is my friend Suzette, and we're going to have a conversation. We're going to chat about the Crowns Tea that will be coming to the Enid Public Library on May 3rd. It is a reservation only, so please make a reservation. And here in a little bit, Suzette will help us remember how to make that reservation.
Yes.
So
thank you for having me. This is really cool.
I'm so glad that you're here.
Yes, same. I'm glad to be here and love your hat.
Well, thank you so much. I love your hat as well. I've been admiring the brim.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you. And your teacup and saucer. Yes, yes.
We beautiful teapot.
Yes, we are ready to have tea. So, yes.
Yeah.
My name is Suzette Chang, and I am with Thick Descriptions. We are an organization that is committed to science empowerment and cultural intelligence.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. And so a way that we enrich conversations around culture is to have the Crowns Tea, which is the reason that we are in our attire.
Our wonderful church hats.
Yes.
Because the concept is based on this book.
That is correct.
Okay.
So this book, which is a black and white pictorial of African American women and their church hats. And so a copy of it is available at your local library.
It is absolutely available at the library.
And so this book speaks to women that dress up for church. And in full transparency, the Crowns Tea began with a desire to honor African American women and their church hats. However, over the last 5+ years, give or take, it became clear that it is about storytelling.
Yes.
And it is about experiences. And these experiences happen to focus on African American women and their church hats, but all of us have a story.
Yes.
And all of us have experiences because we're human beings. Mm-hmm. And so from that, the Crowns Tea was created. And so we, meaning Thick Descriptions, offer the Crowns Tea in different spaces throughout the state. On May the 3rd, here in Enid, we will offer it at 2 p.m. at the Enid Public Library. Mm-hmm. And so we invite everyone to come in their fancy hats.
I love the fancy hats.
Yes, bring a cup and a saucer, which she did perfectly well, yes. And if you choose to dress up like we did, that's fine. If you choose not to, that's fine as well. Men are welcome.
Good.
This is a family event, so we've had attendees as young as 6 months old attend, and I think our most eldest human was maybe 90.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so this is our second year at the Enid Public Library.
Right.
We had a really good time last year.
We
had
did.
some really powerful conversations about just what it means to be human from a cultural perspective, and what our experiences look like. Some that are similar and some are different. And so, for example, you see two amazingly beautiful women sitting in front of you.
Thank you so much.
And although we share a gender, our experiences are very different.
Very different.
And so there are definitely things that you and I could talk about from a female perspective.
Sure.
And there are things that we could talk about that are different.
Right.
And that's the beauty of being a human being. That's the beauty of our cultures.
Yes.
And so, would love to have you. So if you can attend, love to have you. Just call Thick Descriptions at 405-397-0584. or email hello@thickdescriptions.org, and you can RSVP. And so, what are some of the highlights you remember from last year?
Definitely the tea.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, and it was so neat to sit around with a group of ladies. One of my friends went with me. And so I knew a couple of people in the room, but there were also lots of people that I didn't know.
Yes.
And I believe almost everyone was from Enid.
Yes.
But there was such a variety of
human beings.
Yes, such a variety of viewpoints in the room. And to be able to have the conversations and have tea and have a little snack.
Yes.
I walked away feeling enriched.
Yes.
You know, like that I learned something, and that my contributions were also valuable.
Very much so.
That felt not necessarily empowering, but as if my voice mattered. And I think that sometimes we miss that.
Agreed.
Sometimes I feel like we're just going through life, especially like when my kids were younger, it would feel like you could say the same thing 4 or 5, 6 times. And it wasn't until you got loud that then they sort of listened and they were like, why are you yelling at me?
Oh, yeah, I think most parents can relate to that.
Right? Most parents can relate to that, right? So it was a lovely time.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask, because I think that I've read the answer to this somewhere, but your organization is called Thick Descriptions.
Yes.
Can you tell me what that means?
So that means that everything and everyone can be defined in a thick and descriptive way.
So thick as opposed to
thin.
Like thin and just that surface level?
Correct.
We want to go deeper.
Correct.
Okay.
In addition, and to be fair, the census, for the most part, puts us in categories. Like there's this amount of women in Enid, or this amount of men in this economic status. And for general information, we need that. Where Thick Descriptions, the organization, we are committed to delving deeper into that. And as we started in the beginning, you and I share a gender, yet our experiences are different.
Right.
And it even goes deeper than our ethnicity.
Right.
Like I was born and raised in California. Where were you born and raised?
I was born and raised in Illinois.
Yes. and we are both transplants to Oklahoma.
Yeah, but
And so although we identify as Oklahomans, I've been here 20 plus years. What about you?
Let's see here. I've been here about 10.
Okay. We still bring those experiences of our native state here.
Right.
And weaving not only our experiences, but the experiences of Oklahoma.
Right.
Historically and present. And so, and we could keep going with thick descriptions.
Right.
Because it's human beings. We are contextual, we are layered, we are more than what you see.
Yes.
And so that was a huge part of the conversation last year. And you are correct, there are so many different human beings that were there. I distinctly remember 2 humans, I believe identified as female, that were not from here. They were from another country and they were visiting.
Yes. Yes.
And I don't remember the country. I just remember
I think they were from Germany.
That's right. That's right. And very strong accents and very open and willing to enjoy this experience with us.
Yeah.
And they did.
Yeah, I think they were sisters, and one of them lives here and the other was visiting.
Right.
That was
right.
It was great to have
Yes.
was
Yes.
Yeah. It was interesting to have sort of that European
perspective.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how sometimes it's similar and sometimes it's different, and
Correct.
that's true for all of us.
That
right?
is correct.
Sometimes it's similar. And,
That is correct.
Yeah.
That is correct. And so, Thick Descriptions, that's what we're about, is helping humans to understand that we are all thick in description and providing language and resources and information to be able to flesh that out.
Do you think that sort of culturally we are missing these deeper conversations?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
I mean, I feel like, and I'm not sure if I'm sort of like nostalgic about, the days when people used to get together and play bridge, and and people don't I don't know too many people who routinely go to their friend's house for a game night.
Correct.
When I was growing up, especially when I visited my grandmother, we went next door and played cards with Mrs. Eastburn. She was the retired English teacher.
I remember her name.
Oh,
Nice.
yes. I mean, it was regularly,
Right.
a couple of times a week during
Right.
the summer. We went and we would have these conversations.
Right.
And I think that we don't have those
Right.
conversations like we once did.
Agreed. Agreed. And I think a lot of that is due to just the times that we're living in. And I know the height of the pandemic did not help.
Right.
That fractured those human engagements deeply. And I think in many ways we're still recovering, although we are kind of normal. We're not really the way we once were, where we would go to people's houses and just sit and talk, or just come to the library and not only just check out a book, but just sit and talk to someone you've never met before and get a better understanding of their experiences in this thing called being a human being.
I think of in times gone by, we would sit on each other's front porch.
Like I remember that.
Yeah, sit on the front porch with your neighbors, and all the kids were playing in the street together. You know, and and I feel like I don't see that happening as much.
And so I moved here from California, and I consider myself an adopted Oklahoman now, about 24 years ago, and that was something I saw then when I first came here, of this strong sense of connection within geographic spaces, i.e. neighborhoods, where people would just sit on their front porch and talk, and the kids are playing, and it reminded me of my childhood growing up in the Bay Area. And now to see, and I live in Oklahoma City, and to see, I don't see that anymore. I look forward to seeing that again.
Yes.
And again, I know that the pandemic contributed to that, and I think circling this back to the Crowns Tea, I think this is a great opportunity for people to connect with people that typically they may not connect with. And have some meaningful conversations. And full transparency, the Crowns Tea, we definitely have tea. We, as Theri said, we focus on the premise, or the inspiration is this book. And we look for opportunities to connect and engage with each other. The tone is always respectful.
Always respectful.
We make sure that as many voices that want to be heard are heard. And it is a wonderful way for human beings to just be. With a fancy hat, if you choose.
And culturally significant conversations.
Yes.
Which I think is a wonderful way to connect.
Yes. I'm really excited about this. This is our second year.
Yeah, I look forward to this. I have started wearing my hats to church.
That's what you said. Yes.
And every week, somebody tells me how much they love my hat. So it's a great conversation starter.
Yes, it is.
It's a way to connect with people just because you put on a fancy hat.
Right. And for a lot of us, male and female, it is something about wearing a hat.
It is.
Even if it's, and I don't want to say just, but even a baseball cap.
Oh, absolutely.
It is just something about putting a hat on. We tend to sit up a little bit more. Our confidence level is a little bit greater. So, yeah.
Do you think that we use them as a way to sort of represent our personality? You said the baseball cap, right?
Yes.
So being from Illinois, right, you're either a Cubs fan or a White Sox fan.
Got it.
Or a Cardinals fan.
Got it.
Got it. I mean, like you could tell who was who by the hat that they wore.
Right.
You know, I mean, ranchers and cowboys are wearing cowboy hats, and you can tell who they are by the hat that they're wearing. And yeah, no, I think it's
just coming here, and I'm glad you brought that up. So just coming here today, didn't wear this attire, but once I changed, so when I came into the library, I looked completely different. When I came out, I will say, yes, I did stand up a little bit taller, and watching people watch me is always very fascinating when wearing a hat, like when you're at church. Yeah.
So I think it's fascinating. I love that things like tea and hats and food can bring us together, and we can have conversations and connect.
Exactly.
I am very much looking forward to this. I hope that you will join us for the Crowns Tea on May 3rd. Please register with Thick Descriptions. If you call the library will tell you to call Thick Descriptions. We will have the phone number at the library, so if you call us, we will give you the right phone number to contact.
And I'll give it again. It's 405-397-0584, or you can email us at hello@thickdescriptions.org.
Fantastic. And we will see you hopefully on May 3rd for Have Tea and Conversations.
Yes. Men, please come.
Yes.